Ganpati Bappa Moria. Debt-harta, Sukh-karta, Vighnaharta. Lord Ganesha is not just the remover of obstacles in our life, but also a divine symbol of wisdom, planning, and new beginnings. As we welcome Bappa into our homes and hearts this festive season, it's the perfect time to welcome clarity and wisdom into our financial lives too. I'm Kavita Thapliyal and welcome to this very special edition of Vighnaharta Portfolio Strategies, a show where we decode the vignas or obstacles that hold us back from building strong, sustainable wealth and help you create a portfolio that truly reflects your goals and values. Joining us today are two very special guests, people who understand that money is not just maths but also mindset. First, we have Eka Banerjee, who will shine a light on the behavioral vignas, those mental blocks, emotions and patterns that often derail our financial decisions. And then we have Vinayak Sapre, who will walk us through the portfolio vignas, the practical financial missteps and myths that investors must overcome to build long-term wealth. So whatever whether you are just starting your investment journey or looking to realign your financial path this festive season, this show is for you. So let's begin this journey towards removing financial obstacles with wisdom, grace and a little help from Bappa. Once again, Ganpati Bappa Moria, and let's dive in. Welcome Eka and Vinayak on this very auspicious show, and happy Ganesh Chaturthi to both of you as well. Eka, I'll begin with you because let's begin with the behavioral aspect or the behavioral vignas that we usually see in life as well as when it comes to your financial planning. Life goes through a lot of stages, and you definitely need the vignas or hardships to grow in life internally, even as a person, to develop into a better person, a better human being. But having said that, when it comes to your financial portfolio, Eka, what exactly are we talking about in terms of behavioral vignas?
Kavita, first of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. And Ganpati Bappa Moria, greetings of Ganpati. It's interesting. Today we also have Hartalka Tej, and Hartalka Tej for a large part of North India and Bihar
Yeah.
is actually the equivalent of Karwa Chauth. So I find it very fascinating that today is the day that we establish ourselves in our personal, most intimate relationships, while tomorrow we welcome divine blessings of the Ganpati and bring him into our house. And that is pretty much, Kavita, also how we are in our behaviors. Honestly, our financial, economic behaviors are not very different from our other decision making behaviors. We are probably just more attached to them, just more worried about them, just more terrified about them. And like the difference between today and tomorrow, the fact is that there are two kinds of vigna that we face. One set of vigna that we face is external vigna, things that are beyond our control, things that are beyond our kshetra, things that are bahya, right? So whether it's the Fed's policies, whether it's acts of God and force majeure, and there are storms and there are floods, whether it's the acts of other heads of nations, whether it's about tariffs, export duties. Honestly, these are things that are that are without our control, that are outside of our control. We only end up responding and reacting to them. But how we respond, how we react, whether it's to financial markets or other disturbances, is a function of how well we are established within ourselves. And this has two aspects. One, things that distract us, that take us away from our objectivity, our clarity. This is what we call the klesha. And there are five kleshas that we are known for. The first of them is asmita, pride, arrogance, the idea that I know it all. The second is avidya, actually ignorance, where we either have half knowledge or no knowledge, and therefore study the investments that you're going to make. The third is raga, possessiveness about the decisions I've taken, the stocks I've taken, the things that I'm unable to let go of. The fourth is dvesha, dislikes, because I am so busy disliking a sector, an industry, a stock, a company, that I don't make the right choices about it, and therefore don't pick it up, even if it's wise, even if it's advised. And the last one is abhinivesha, which is clinging on to something long after it's served its utility for me, holding on to stocks because I have some long ago emotional value to them. So this klesha is what needs to go away from within ourselves as we welcome Bappa And we will talk about the things that we need to get ourselves established in order to make the right financial decisions.
All right, so a lot of things and a lot of aspects that one really needs to work on internally to get the act right, especially when their portfolio is concerned. So, let's also understand the financial aspect of your portfolio, which is more dominated by the external triggers. And over here, we are talking about the global triggers, Vinayak, that's completely dominating our financial portfolio these days, and are the primary vignas, if I can just call it that. So, yeah, help us understand these vignas and how to overcome or how to strategize them for your benefit.
Yeah. Thanks, Kavita, for having me here on the show. Uh, See, बारिश का season है, the rains are here, and we cannot predict the rains, but we can definitely carry an umbrella, right? Similarly, if we are talking about the Vignas, the market volatility, the inflation, illiquidity, taxation, all these are the Vignas which come in the life of an investor, of a person. Uh, and not understanding the, if I talk about cognitive biases, then the and not understanding the difference between need and want, which typically has happened in the last 25, 30 years, that the kind of consumerism has caught up with us. And finally, not hiring a financial advisor for such a serious thing that is wealth creation for financial freedom of yours. So these are a few vignas which come in the life of a person, of an investor, and the strategies one need to follow uh, to start with is the protection first rather than investing first, because you have a family with you, you need to take care of them, god forbid if anything goes wrong. So protection comes first. Buy a term insurance plan, pure term insurance plan, as soon as possible before any thing happens to you. The beauty of life insurance plan is that your insurance premium remains the same throughout the period of your life policy. Secondly, buy health insurance. The medical cost is increasing day by day. So it is always better to buy health insurance, even if you are covered in the company you are working with. Keep liquidity in your portfolio. At least 4 to 6 months of your household expenses should be there uh, in your bank or in the form of liquid fund. Uh, if you are talking about long-term investing, people have this habit of doing 7 years, 8 years of FDs, but they invest in stock market for 6 months to make double. In fact, the attitude needs to be changed. You need to condition your mind for whilst you are investing in long-term investments. Choose asset class which are tax efficient in nature. Choose asset class which give you positive net return. So when I'm saying positive net return is if you are calculating return, typically we will look at gross return without considering implication of tax and inflation. So if your return is at 12%, then minus tax minus inflation, that is the near your net positive return, net return. Don't ignore the importance of liquidity. As I already said, you need to prioritize the priorities, understand the difference between need and want. As we are talking about Ganeshji, look at his vehicle, the Mushak. He is happy with his chota sa Mushak, the small vehicle, because he understands the need and want probably. Here, people end up buying big vehicles, they end up paying large EMIs, especially the service class. Why? I don't understand why they should buy such heavy, big vehicles. And asset allocation is the key. Always remember one thing, that in your portfolio construction, downside protection is no less important. So that's where the entire thing matters. That asset allocation is the key. Asset allocation is important. The most important thing in investing, diversify portfolio across all different asset classes as per their time horizon suggested by your financial advisor. So this is my take, that how you can, move away, or rather take care of the vignas which come in your life.
So practical steps, for your portfolio. In fact, these are the fundamentals of financial planning that one should be really looking at. And in fact, going back, if at all they feel any of these vignas which they are facing right now, or it's impacting their portfolio. But having said that, how to Eka, how to manage the greed and fear aspect of your portfolio, because we're also looking at a lot of new investors who have just tasted the equity market, seen a lot of profit, but then now definitely they must be not very happy looking at the portfolio, especially in last 1 year. So what happens over here is, in one way, we really need to internalize a lot of things and figure out how you are as a person, and strengthen that aspect of your personality. But having said that, how much do you leave on God? And although we have to take the practical aspects, but how do you also learn from the lessons and move ahead? That courage to move on after facing a loss, or that courage or understanding maybe, of life, and these kind of bumps, break bumps that you get in your portfolio. How to just get away with it or just go past it?
Thank you, Kavita. And I must mention here, as Vinayak ji spoke about Mushak and Ganpati's Savari as being, so small, and Ganpati's contentment, even with his largeness and his vastness, the contentment with that little Savari, the Mushak. I find it very useful in the context of financial markets and investments, especially to also see the Mushak as that little tool that will go through all the fine print and all the risks that are outlined in documents that Ganpati can't get through, that vastness can't get into. And so I find it so beautiful to look at that large vastness of Ganpati and have the big picture in place, look at growth, look at going further. And then, exactly as Vinayak said, also don't forget that little mushak that will go down inside and read your fine prints. And this balance, Kavita, between the vastness and that smallness and living in the here and the now is actually what's outlined in this idea of the Shat Sampat. So we spoke about the kleshas and we spoke about the Shadaripu, things that don't work for us and keep us, like you mentioned, make us greedy, make us fearful, keep us worried, scared, and panicked. Similarly, we have these six qualities, the establishment of which helps you find yourself and allows even Bhagwanji to act on you. These six qualities that are called the Shat Sampat are the one of Shama. Shama is a calm mind. A mind, and the easiest way to get to it is breathe before you do anything. As we always talk about in anger, the same in finance. Take your 10 deep breaths, count from 1 to 10. Dhamma, alignment of the senses with the mind. So, what you're seeing, stay focused, stay all in there. Let what you're seeing be the same as what you're reading, be the same as what you're signing. Align all your senses in one place. The third is titiksha, forbearance. And Vinayakji also spoke about the whole aspect of patience, that don't expect something to do in 6 months what it is expected to perform in 6 years, perhaps. So have the patience, stay the course. You took some decisions, you took those decisions wisely, stay with them, stay the course. The fourth then is Shraddha. Shraddha is when all things considered, you have your intention is right. What you're doing is not based in greed, rage, anger, desire, clinging on to something, possessiveness, pride, ego. It's not based in that. And only you can evaluate what your intentions are. As long as you know that you're not acting from those intentions, have the faith that Bappa will bless you, that the universe will align for you. Then there is Uparati, which is staying in the present. This is a tough one. This is what you're talking about in the context of the ability to leave your past behind. The gains of the past were in the past. Refresh this, stay in the moment now. Similarly, the mistakes you made in the past, they are gone. You're carrying the burden, you're carrying the guilt, but stay in the present so that your course for the future is tracked. And sixth, and most importantly, is the idea of samadhan, contentment. Don't be greedy. don't be fearful. What you're getting is what you're meant to get in the here and the now. And all this happens once we are able to establish ourselves in our kshetra. And honestly, that is what Ganpati teaches us to do. That's what Bappa teaches us to do. With big ears, listen well. With the little mushak, read the fine print. With the ekadanta, stay focused, stay consistent. And then with that might of him sitting in your place, the fact of contentment, the fact of being established in yourself. Do not panic, do not fear, do not compete, stay
Right.
focused, stay aligned, stay well intentioned.
But Eka, I have to really say this, that it's very difficult to maintain this kind of an attitude in such so much of unpredictability and uncertainty around. When we talk about taking practical aspects, we can try some financial strategies for your portfolio. But when it comes on the internal working and being in that surrender mode and living in the present and keeping the faith and beating the hopelessness around, I think that's slightly tricky. I will take some mantras from you next, but then now my question is to Vinayak. How do you deal with this uncertainty? You gave us a few mantras which are very fundamentally strong as per the rules of financial planning are concerned, Vinayak. But then having said that, what should one do? Not take more loans during this uncertain period, because you might be having your financial goals aligned, which might be up ahead few years from now. But in some cases, it could be just closer. How do you maintain that kind of an attitude? Just taking a thread from what Eka also explained, stay focused and just believe that what you are doing is the right thing. Investment, I know, is supposed to be a very boring process, but then when there is so much of uncertainty, you even if you're cautious and focused, you just overdo it. Some people just overdo it, and some people just change the entire strategy or change the way. So what's the right kind of attitude at this particular point in time for your financial portfolio to have, Vinayak?
Very true. In fact, whilst people like us will keep talking about that you need to maintain the calm and stay put, it is easier said than done. I agree even after spending 25 years in the financial services. However, the thing is that when the volatility is part and parcel of investing in equities. So there is a risk of investing into equities. There is a bigger risk of not investing into equities. So overdoing anything, may have may backfire. So important thing is that have your goals in place and focus on those goals. Best thing is when you are investing, and especially if you are investing through a financial advisor, the role of a financial advisor actually comes when the things are not going good. In the bull run, when the going is good, everybody is an expert, everybody is a champion, right? But when it comes to the situation like these, for example, in the last 1 year, market has not given any return. That's where the role of a financial advisor comes into play. That he or she needs to do the handholding of their of their clients, and most importantly. Uh, don't allow them to commit mistakes, or rather stop them from committing mistakes. That is more important thing. Substantiate your logic, your argument with data. That is the most important thing. That's where most of the financial advisors miss, or investors overlook that. uh, Even if you are 54% during your 10-15 years of your investment, 15 years of your investment, all you need is 54% positive days. And in all likelihood, all your goals will be long term goals will be achieved. All you need is 54% positive days. And for that, of course, they will not come in tandem that one day negative, one day positive. You may have 3 years of negative returns, but you need to stay focused. The easiest way to condition your mind, for the investors, I'm saying that the way you condition your mind for that endowment policy which is sold to you for 25 to 30 years, or when you buy a real estate, even if it grows by 15-20%, you don't sell it. You keep it for next 10-15-20 years. You need to condition your mind like that only. Why people don't look at their insurance policies? Because the rates, one, it is not talked about thing. Secondly, their rates are not published. hear something which is very transparent, liquid in nature, and people keep talking about it. And keep the investment boring. The more you keep it boring, it is better for you. It will help you in creating long-term wealth.
All right. Okay, so Eka, coming back to that question, that how do you beat that hopelessness, or I mean, you've given us the mantras initially also, but then trust becomes a very difficult aspect in this entire journey.
So, Kavita, as Vinayak ji spoke of, right, the need for a financial planner. The fact is, and Hindi movies, Bollywood movies have played this theme out ad infinitum. Um, when you're healthy. And that's when vitamins play their role, yoga, Ayurveda plays its role. That's when you know what you're doing. And but the moment something starts becoming unhealthy, diseased, you fall sick, you start worrying about your health. You actually go through diagnostics, you do tests, you actually end up with a doctor, right? The same thing works for financial planning. Till you're doing well, you're fine, it's good. Don't become arrogant about it. Until you're doing well, you're good. But as soon as you think there is some amount of panic, you don't know what's happening, there are new policies, the liquidity in the markets have moved, go to a financial advisor if you haven't already done so. Most of us already have a GP in place, right? When we're healthy. So have that financial planner, he's your doctor. And then, as we've always said, that it's either dawa or dua. So trust your financial planner, trust yourself, establish yourself in yourself. That's step one. Step two is make sure you have a financial planner who's advising, who's working the markets, who's giving you the right information, who's aligned with your goals, your health, and your financial needs. And then eventually, for everything else that's beyond your control, there is always the bappa, there is the dua. The markets will happen as they are, but make sure that you are all right. You will get Bappa's blessings. Have that faith, have that shraddha. And between the three, not only are your financial needs met, your life goals are also completely well served between taking care of yourself, having the right set of advisors, and then leaving the rest to Bappa as you welcome him in tomorrow.
All right, so keep the faith, keep believing in miracles, and do your karma, which is take the right kind of steps towards your financial independence for your financial portfolio strategies. Thank you so much, both of you. That's all the time I have on the show, but thank you so much for taking time out and helping our viewers understand this very crucial aspect, whether it is about themselves, clearing all the vignas internally, or in their financial portfolio. Thank you so much. And with that, I'm going to leave our viewers also. Ganesh Chaturthi greetings to all of you, and may Bappa bless your financial portfolio as well. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.